3 land ownership systems in Zimbabwe. For 3 land ownership systems, for example, for the benefits, we are going to explore that in the pre-colonial era, land was honored or was under the jurisdiction of the king to the natives. Saka kwakaitwa nyaya yeland reform program phase 1 and phase 2, whereby kwakune willing buyer and willing seller basis. The land was now owned by the black majority. They regained their land, and this have given the Zimbabweans opportunity to partake the land again from 1980 onwards. And also they practice farming and farm invasions and selling of timber. Tine horticulture, tine cattle ranching, for example, at Koala, they are practicing cattle ranching. They are benefiting by buying and selling of meat. Tinanata vistock, kurkuitwa dairy farming.
I welcome you once again on my channel. In this case, I'm discussing with you a level FRS, specifically revising June 2023 question paper equipping candidates for their final exam.
This is our question. So this is our question number 3 for June 2023 question paper, FRS paper 1. So the question says, discuss land ownership systems in Zimbabwe. So first and foremost, discuss, we argue for and against. But in this case, we are arguing for the issues of land ownership system. So good candidates must know that land ownership system in Zimbabwe is specifically in FRS is divided into 3 periods. That is the pre-colonial era, colonial era, and the post-colonial era. So one, if you are wise now, what you can do is you can look upon these 3 land ownership system. Then you evaluate or emphasize which land ownership system benefited the for the indigenous people, for the natives. Good candidates are expected to explore. Good candidates are expected to explore the positive impact and the negative impact. The positive impact and the negative impact of these land ownership systems in Zimbabwe. The benefits and non-benefits, okay, it can happen in that way. The benefits and non-benefits of land ownership system. But as you are exploring it, you need to know that we have got 3 land ownership systems in Zimbabwe. For 3 land ownership systems, for example, for the benefits, we are going to explore that in the pre-colonial era, land was honored or was under the jurisdiction of the king. As the king had the jurisdiction of land, all land belonged to him and the chiefs and the village heads. They were the ones who distributed land to the people. And as people, they were given land, they were given right to hunt in order to supplement their diet, and they benefited. And furthermore, individuals, they were given land for crop cultivation to supplement their diet, and they even paid the tribute. Furthermore, in the pre-colonial era, pastoralism was practiced. It was one of the main aspects because the cattle, they were used to provide meat, they were used for lobola, and most of the land was, some of the land that was not cultivated was reserved for pastoralism purposes. Furthermore, people, they practice pottery, and the pottery making was very important because pakuita clay pots aishandiswa for cooking and furthermore. despite the benefits individual, despite the benefits which were enjoyed by the natives or enjoyed by people in indigenous religion in a pre-colonial era, they also enjoyed land ownership post-colonial era, like now soon after independence, when the land was taken to the natives. Saka kwakaitwa nyaya yeland reform program phase 1 and phase 2, whereby kwakune willing buyer and willing seller basis. The land was now owned by the black majority. They regained their land, and this have given the Zimbabweans opportunity to partake the land again from 1980 onwards. And also they practice farming and farm invasions, whereby all those farms that were belong to the white settlers, they were taken for the benefit of the black majority. And vanhu pavakatora land vakatanga kuita commercial farming, cash crop farming, and vachiwana kurarama. Furthermore, they now practicing housing projects. Housing cooperatives are all over Zimbabwe. Ari kuuya because kone post-colonial land ownership. People are getting title deeds in their land. Also practicing mining. Mining, for example, tinana inonzi chiko mbada diamonds mining aka established kwa nai nekuti blacks vakwana ownership of land. Andika zvese so toenda futi nyaya forest. Andika vanhu vari kupractice forest, vari kuita buying and selling of zvinhu zvakafanana netimber. Tine horticulture, tine cattle ranching, for example, at Koala. They are practicing cattle ranching. They are benefiting by buying and selling of meat. Tinanata vistock, kurkuitwa dairy farming. Zvese zvose zviri kubenefita blacks. Then however, despite that, this land ownership system, they benefited the Zimbabweans. We can take note of the colonial era where the land ownership was not benefiting them. For instance, we've got the imposition of the Land Apportionment Act by the British South African Company. The Land Apportionment Act of 1980, it restricted Africans to own land or fertile soils. Rather, they were pushed to acquire Shangani reserves because they were not given the opportunity to occupy or to own fertile soils. And furthermore, there was what we call forced labor. And people were forced to work in white farms and mines. And above all, people, they were now having hunting restrictions. They were not allowed to hunt animals. They were not allowed to mine. Also, there was the establishment of reserve land, which was known as the forest land, which was reserved for forest. While my blacks, they were suffering. Vasina pekurima, vasina pekuita sei pekugara. Ubabata ndozvaunenge wakutaura. So this topic is a cross-cutting theme. Land reform program and land ownership, it's part of your syllabus in advanced level FRS. Andika ndomanyorera maita iwayo kana mune mubvunzo mobvunza. Toda kuti tiende pane